Welcome to the world of Autocockers, and thank you for the purchase of your new Autococker marker. You can now experience competition at its highest level. After opening your new package, you will find you have an Autococker marker, a barrel, a manual, a barrel sock, and inside the barrel sock you'll find a 3/16 Allen wrench. To get started, you will need to install your barrel. Take your marker and screw the barrel into the threaded hole in the front of the body. Be sure to turn it clockwise until it stops. You want to make sure it's nice and snug to the body so it doesn't come loose. Now that you have your barrel installed, you'll need to install the protective barrel sock over the end of the barrel. Slide the barrel sock onto the barrel and find a place to securely fasten it to the marker, making sure it is tight and cannot fall off. The barrel sock is a very important piece of safety equipment and should be on your marker whenever you're not playing. In addition to the barrel sock, your new marker comes with a mechanical safety as well. This safety is located above and behind the trigger. It is switched on and off by pushing it side to side. One side is a safe position used to keep the marker from firing, and the other side is a fire position for use when on the paintball field and during play. Remember, only put your marker in the fire position when it's time to play paintball. Now it is time to connect your air source. Remember to only use tanks that have threads that meet ASTM standards, like Brass Eagle and WGP tanks. But first you must cock your marker, either by pulling back on the back block until it clicks, or pulling back on the cocking rod itself located at the rear of the marker. When the cocking rod clicks into place, you will be able to install your air source. Make sure you do this every time you install the air source onto your marker. Make sure your air source is full. WGP recommends compressed air for all WGP markers, but CO2 will work. Refer to your owner's manual for more information on your air source. On the bottom of your marker is an air receiver. This is what the tank screws into. Start screwing the tank in clockwise, making sure not to cross-thread it. Be sure to screw the tank in all the way. Now it's time to install a loader on the top of the marker. There are many loaders available. WGP recommends view loader products like this Evolution 2. Place the loader onto the feed tube of the marker. Make sure the loader is secure and pull it straight in line with the body of the marker. Next, you're ready to chronograph your marker. Many fields have different velocity limits, so be sure to research them before you play. Once at the chronograph station, fire a few shots to check your marker's velocity. If you're too high or too low, you will need to adjust your velocity. To adjust your velocity, you will need to remove the cocking rod located at the rear of your marker. To remove the cocking rod, unscrew the rod counterclockwise until it comes out. Grab the 3/16 Allen wrench that came with your marker and insert it into the hole you took the rod out from. Turn the wrench clockwise for higher velocity and counterclockwise for lower velocity. A quarter of a turn in either direction will change the velocity 15 to 20 feet per second. Remove the wrench and reinstall the cocking rod, this time turning it clockwise. Be sure to screw it in all the way, which is over 10 turns. Repeat this process until your velocity is within your local field's limits. Once your velocity is set, you're ready to go play and enjoy a great day of paintball.
The sport of paintball has grown, with players from as young as 10 years old to players well into their golden years. Paintball has developed into one of the largest extreme sports in the world. No matter what your age or ability, safety should always come first. All players should set an example for others to follow to keep paintball a growing, safe, enjoyable sport. So before you step out onto the field to play, here are a few safety guidelines you should follow. As you begin your day of paintball, it's important to make sure all of your equipment is in order and that all of your protective gear is ready to go. And always be sure to only play paintball at licensed, insured commercial fields that have good track records. Now that you've got all your equipment in order and you've gone over the proper setup for your marker, it's time to get your tank filled. To make it safe and easy for people who are filling your tank, it's important to never put stickers on your tank and to have your tank covers either slid back or removed so they can inspect the hydro date on your tank. If your tank's hydro date has expired, it is unsafe to fill and your local field will turn your tank down. This is for your safety. Keeping your tank safe is very important. There are a wide variety of tank covers available, and it is a good idea to use one to protect from damaging your air system on the ground or other hard surfaces. With your gear on and your tank filled, it's time to go test your setup. The most important thing to remember is anytime you enter the field or are on the field, you must have your goggles on and secured to your head. Be sure to take a look around and see that everyone around you has their goggles on as well. Now it's time to chrono your marker. Safely aim downrange and shoot a few shots over the chronograph to make sure you're in accordance with your local field's limits, and adjust your marker accordingly. Be sure to never exceed 300 feet per second. Usual field limits are between 260 and 280 feet per second. Now that you have all your equipment set up properly, you are ready to head out on the field to feel the rush and excitement of a great day playing paintball.
The referees are out here with the same goals as you, to make the game safe and fun at the same time. So during play, if we have to tell you to do something or pull you from the game, there is a reason, and it's usually for your safety. We are here to make your day of paintball run as smooth and safe as possible. So come on out and have some fun.
The game of paintball is a very fast-paced sport, and there are a lot of distractions. But here are some things you have to remember during play. No matter what happens on the field, whether you get too hot, you're standing on the sideline shot, or there is too much paint on your lenses, never, ever, under any circumstances, remove your goggles. By removing your goggles while on the field or during play, you are putting yourself in a situation where you could be hurt or seriously injured. If you're hit during play or need to leave the game for any reason, raise your marker or raise your hand in the air to signal to other players that you are out. Head to the safe zone, secure your barrel sock to your marker, and leave your goggles on at all times. Also, if your marker malfunctions or misfires, never look down the barrel. Exit the field and inspect it in a safe environment. If you stick to these tips and always play it safe on the field, your paintball experience will be enjoyable every time you play. Whether this is your first marker or you're an experienced player, it's up to everyone to make the game great. Remember, this is a fun sport, and by every player doing their part to keep the game fun and safe, the sport of paintball will continue to grow for years to come.
A safe environment is a netted-in, paintball-approved area where you and everyone within 200 yards of you are wearing paintball-approved goggles and protective equipment. The proper way to remove all paintballs and air from your marker is to first be in a safe environment. Start by removing the paintball loader from the marker. Once the loader is removed, point the marker down in a safe direction and remove the barrel sock and push the safety into the fire position. Fire the marker a few times to ensure all the paintballs are out of the marker. Now, keeping the marker pointed down, you can unscrew the air tank from the marker. To ensure there is no excess air left in the marker, safely pull the trigger a few times to release the excess air. Push the safety back into the safe position and reinstall the barrel sock over the barrel and secure it to the marker. Be sure to follow this procedure whenever you are not using your marker for play. How do I maintain my new WGP Autococker marker? Maintaining your marker is simple and easy. You need only to clean and oil your marker to keep it up and running. Simply follow the factory maintenance and cleaning instructions that are found in your manual. How do I oil my marker? You will only need to lubricate your marker after every 4 or 5 days of play. You will need to remove your air source first. You will first need to remove all paintballs and safely degas your marker. Next, remove your barrel sock from the barrel. Now you can unscrew your barrel by turning it counterclockwise. This is done to keep oil from getting in the inside of the barrel. With your barrel removed, locate the air receiver on the bottom of the marker. This is where you will place 3 to 4 drops of 3-in-1 oil or any other paintball approved marker oil. Once you have placed a few drops of oil in the air receiver, you can reconnect your air source by screwing it in clockwise. Once the air tank is reconnected, you will fire the marker 10 to 15 times. This will distribute all the oil through the internals of the marker, lubricating everything from the regulator to the pneumatics and valve. At this time, you can also lubricate the bolt O-rings. Remove the pull pin that holds the bolt in and slide the bolt out. At the front of the bolt, there are 2 O-rings. Using either petroleum jelly or lithium grease, spread a thin layer of lubricant over the 2 O-rings on all sides. Now you can reinstall the bolt. You will notice between the 2 O-rings there is a hole. This hole must face down at all times. With the hole facing down, slide the bolt back in and replace the pull pin. Slide the bolt back and forward a few times and you will be finished lubricating your marker. How do I clean my marker? To clean your marker, you first remove your air source and barrel. Now remember, you will first need to remove all paintballs and safely degas your marker. Next, lightly spray down your marker with a 50-50 mix of rubbing alcohol and water, and then wipe it down with a clean cloth. Sometimes you will want to get into those hard to clean places, so you'll want to take off the back lock of your marker. To do so, remove the pull pin and slide the bolt out. Next, remove the cocking rod by unscrewing it counterclockwise. Once that is removed, you will be able to unscrew the back lock from your marker. To do this, you will hold the pump rod that runs alongside the marker still, while you turn the back block counterclockwise. Once the back block is off, you will be able to clean more of the marker. Reinstallation of the back block is a very important process to do correctly. You will notice that the pump rod on the side of the marker can move back and forward. You will need to make sure it is all the way forward and then hold it still while you screw the back block back on. While screwing it on, again, make sure that the pump rod is all the way forward. When the back block starts to touch the body, only spin it enough to line the bolt hole up. Do not screw the back block on too far, as this could damage the marker. Once the back block is in place, you can reinstall the bolt. Always make sure the hole in the bolt between the 2 O-rings is facing down. Next, replace your pin and reinstall your cocking rod by turning it clockwise until it is tight in the marker. Now your marker is clean and ready to go. Sometimes when I air up my marker, I hear air coming out of the barrel. What causes that? Always be sure to cock the marker before airing it up. If you hear air, try oiling your marker and safely firing it a few times to seat the valve. If air continues to escape, remember it is not recommended to adjust or remove the hammer or hammer lug without proper training. Please contact WGP directly at 800-755-5061. Does WGP recommend CO2 or compressed air? WGP recommends compressed air, but the markers will also work on CO2. CO2 has some limitations. In cold weather, you could experience shoot down or marker freeze up. That is why WGP recommends compressed air for your marker. What is timing, and do I need to adjust it? Timing is the length of time between when your marker fires and when it starts to recock. Your marker comes timed from the factory and you do not need to time it. It is not recommended to adjust or remove the hammer or hammer lug without proper training. I removed my bolt and replaced it, and my velocity has dropped. What is the problem? Anytime you remove the bolt from your marker, you must always be sure that the hole in between the two O-rings in your bolt is always facing down before reinstallation. This is a common problem that could directly affect the velocity of your marker. I broke a ball on my marker. How do I clean it? If for some reason you experience a broken paintball inside your marker, here's a thorough way to clean it out. You will need to start by making sure you are in a safe environment. Remove your air source and your loader. Now remember, you will first need to remove all paintballs and safely degas your marker. Next, remove your barrel sock and your barrel by unscrewing it counterclockwise. You can now remove your pull pin so you can slide the bolt out of the marker. With these parts removed, you are able to easily clean your marker thoroughly. What we are using is called a swab, but there are many cleaning devices available such as a swab like this or a squeegee. Insert the swab into the marker from where you pulled the bolt from. It helps to run it through a couple of times. After you are satisfied with the cleanliness of the body, you can move on to the barrel, starting at the rear and pulling forward. Again, run the swab through a couple of times. Once finished, you can replace the barrel and bolt and go play. What is the reason to have different barrel sizes? The reason for using different barrel sizes is paintballs are different sizes due to freshness and weather. By having different barrel sizes, you're able to match your paint to your barrel to get the best accuracy and consistency out of your marker. My marker seems to cycle, but it does not fire. What could be the problem? If your marker is cycling but the balls aren't coming out of the barrel, or they're coming out but only going a few feet, check to make sure the hole in between the two O-rings on your bolt is facing down. If the hole is not facing down, the marker will not fire because air is not able to travel into the bolt. I have a question that is not on this list. What do I do? If you have more questions and did not find the answers here, please contact WGP directly at 800-755-5061.